The first thing you're going to have to do is remove your front differential, and we've got it to this point because we assume that you won't have any trouble getting to there. The first thing you'll have to do is remove your front axle. We've got a roll pin right here on the front prop shaft. I'll drive that out from the other side so you can see. Now there's 4 bolts on the underneath that hold the differential in place that you'll have to remove. Now you'll have to unplug your pigtail. This comes apart real easy. Slide your differential off your prop shaft. You'll have to remove these 6 countersink screws. Now when you take this apart, it's really pretty simple to get it back together. You can't turn it the wrong way and get the screws to line up. The only thing you'll have to watch when you put it back together is that this seal, you have to be careful that it's really easy when you start putting that in there for that seal to try to turn over or come apart, and there's a little spring that holds that all sealed up real good. Okay, now that you got the cover part, this will actually be sitting on there just like that when you take that cover off there. And basically what you've got here, in case you don't know, this right here is the actual armature or the magnet. And the way this works is that this plate actually slides up against here, and when you're in 2-wheel drive it rotates the whole time because it's actually fitting down in here on this Sprague carrier, and that rotates all the time. So when you hit the switch on your 4-wheel drive, it energizes this magnet, and this causes enough friction on this to cause this cage, which if I take this out here, maybe you can see that this will actually stop this, and as you go to turn, that advances enough that this comes down and wedges on this journal here, to locking it up, causing your 4-wheel drive to work. Now what you have happening is this plastic piece that I'm sure everybody's heard about, that there's been a real problem on the RZRs, that these are breaking and causing your 4-wheel drive not to work. So that's what this aluminum piece is a replacement there for that. Now basically we've already got one of these installed. I'll remove it. Probably the one that you're taking apart there is going to have this plastic piece. It's going to be in 100 different pieces, so you'll just have to dig those out and clean it up real good. Get all your rollers out there. Now, and your springs will be in there too. You'll have to gather up your springs. Now, currently these Sprague carriers are not going to come with the springs already installed, like this one here already has. In the future, they will come with the springs on it. We just haven't got that developed yet. So basically, you'll have to take your springs off your old part, or gather them out of your differential if it's tore up too bad. But you'll just take a little screwdriver and pop these off. Just just like that, and you'll have a spring there. Now on the older style, the 08s, like this here is a Generation 1 roller cage, and it's actually wider. In here, it's 415 thousandths of an inch on this one. And your 2009 and late model 08s will just be 375 thousandths. Now, if your plastic cage is the 09s or the later model, the 375 thousandths of an inch, then the springs that you have will work perfectly for this Sprague carrier of ours. Now, if it's the older style, what you'll have to do is actually mash this in and bend it in just a little bit to where it fits tighter, because where this is wider, it actually causes too much force on that roller to where the magnet won't hold it to advance. So you'll put it in, put it back together, and your four-wheel drive won't work, and that'll be your problem. So now after you got your springs off there, you'll just take and stick it down in the spring seat and mash it in there, and then it's good to go. Go through all the way around that with the 20 springs, and now you get the fun part of trying to put these rollers back together. So the way you do, like this is the 09 style, and the newer style, they've actually got milled pockets right here, and the older styles did not have that. So the older style is actually a little more difficult to install than this one here. I choose to actually just come to where these pockets are, start out where the pockets are not at. Go to every other one. Now you just slide that down in there farther to where you can get to the next one, and go back around it again. Now, like I say, if you don't have these pockets, it's easier if you go to every one in a row, work yourself around. And I keep trying to do it now. Alright, then you just slide it down in there, and put this back. And you have to put your armature plate on here, and now there's times that this can actually get bent and cause the four-wheel drive not to work as well. If it doesn't lay flat on here, it won't actually cause enough friction to engage the four-wheel drive. So now you just slide this back in there, line it up, and you're ready to go back together. And this little piece here that fits right on top of this adjustment dowel and a set screw, you have to watch when you line that back up that you get that in the right location. Sometimes they'll stick on here, and sometimes you have to lay it down. Like I say, watch your seal to make sure that it doesn't try to turn over. And then just put your screws back in it, and you're ready to go.